Hi everyone and welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson with Mr. West. So continuing with statistics, and this is lesson 3, introducing line graphs. I think you might know what these graphs might look like, judging from the title. So for question 1, this introduces us to a line graph. And why is it a line graph? Well, because it's got a line on the graph. That is literally it. Okay, see that blue line there? That is literally why it's called a line graph. Okay, so if I get my laser pointer at the ready, let's have a look. So we have a line graph here, and if you notice really carefully on these lines, we have like these dots. Okay, and these dots are important, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, because it tells us key information like what was the peak at 1 p.m. here. Okay, or what was the value of 1 p.m. For here, 3 p.m., what was the value here? And 11 a.m., what was the value here? And 9 a.m. what's the value here? So this question's a bit hard, but we're going to go through this together. Okay, it says what is missing. Now, if you've just been introduced to line graphs, okay, you won't be too sure what actually is missing. All right, so I'm going to go through it with you. So it says use the checklist to make sure the line graph has all these items. Okay, and it's asking us what is missing. So it's just like English. Okay, does it have a title? Okay, well yes, because if you look at the line graph here, okay, it says here it's a traffic survey, right? And that is what we call the title. What is this line graph all about? Okay, it's telling us about the traffic. All right, it's a traffic survey, so gathering information on the traffic. Okay, so it's got a title, so I can tick that off. Okay, now here we have what's called an axes label. These are your axes here. You've got a bottom axis there, and you've got an axis here, like an L shape. Bottom axis, and then this axis here. Okay, when it says axes labels, we have to label or name the axes. So 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m. Well, what would be a label for that? What could I have for a name? All right, because the axes labels are missing. All right, because I've got 0 and 2 here, I don't actually have a name telling me, well, what is this worth? Is it 2 elephants? Is it 2 bananas? Is it 2 cars, 2 motorbikes, 2 people? I have no idea because I haven't named it. Okay, so the axes are missing because at the bottom one, did you guess what this one could be? If it's 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., that's right, this would be time. Okay, so the time. Okay, so I would actually have to write time here just to show people, well, what does this show me? Well, this shows me the time, but we don't know the label for this. Okay, and it's traffic survey, so could it be maybe cars? Could it be vans? Could it be all vehicles? But then all vehicles would include like boats and planes, and it'd be very weird if I saw a boat or a plane on the road. I think it'd be very lost. Scales. Okay, so if you can remember what scales are, remember it's what does it go up in at the side here. Okay, so it looks like it's going up in 2s. It has a scale, but have all of the scales been put into the line graph? Well, no, because at the bottom here we've got 0, then it goes 2, but then I'm missing them here, 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 and here. Okay, so if I know it looks like it's going up in 2 because it goes 0, 2, well, that means I'm missing 4, that's right, then 6, 8, and 10, okay, because it goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I do have scales. Okay, I'm missing the axes labels, but I have the title. Okay, and when you do this question on Purple Math, this is the answer. Okay, so you have to come up with an appropriate label. Okay, like I said, for the bottom you could have time, but if it's a traffic survey, normally we see like, cars on the road. Okay, I know there's vans and lorries and things like that, and I'm sure if you put a number of lorries or number of vans, then that's fine. Okay, number of cars is okay. All right, and then these bits were missing as well. Like I said, it's got the scale, that's why it's been ticked, and it's got the title. Definitely doesn't have those. It still technically has a scale, but some of them are missing. Okay, so it says here what is missing. So when you do this on Purple Mash, you just have to look to see what's missing and can you add them in. Okay, so that's question 1 when it comes to your worksheets. Question 2 then. Okay, so we've been introduced to line graphs. Let's see if we can figure this one out. It says here, use the line graph to fill in the gaps. So we've got a title, circumference of oak tree trunks. Okay, and we have the age in years of the tree, so 10 years, 20, 30, 40 years. And at the side here, we have the circumference in meters. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says here, at 10 years, the oak tree measured meters. And then we've got another question here. The quickest growth was between age and All right, we'll come to question 2 in a minute. Okay, but let's focus on question 1. All right, so at 10 years, the oak tree measured meters. So what I would have to do here, okay, it says age in years here, and it's looking at 10 years. So if I look at 10, okay, so here's my line graph going up. If I look at 10, if I imagine a straight line going up, can you see how it kind of meets this dot here? Okay, so if I look straight up, okay, and then I look across, that tells me the circumference, okay? And that is literally it. So at 10 years, which is there, 10 years, the oak tree measured how many meters? Remember, if I go straight up, that dot there, because that'll be for 10, 20, 30, and 40, it's measuring at 1 meter. So that answer there would be 1 meter. So that one's quite straightforward. This is where it gets a bit trickier. The quickest growth was between age and There's many ways to figure this out, okay? But the one that I tend to go with is which one has what we call the steepest incline, okay? So if it's flat like this, well, it's not growing, is it? If it's steadily growing, it might go up just a little bit, okay? But if it grows really quick, it might go boom, straight up, all right? And when it's the quickest growth, which one of these has the steepest line going up? So I have to compare this line to this line to this one and to this one. So this one, it's gone up a little bit. It's gone from 0 to 1 in 10 years. Okay. And then it goes from here. It's just going in between. It's about 1.5 here. So it's only gone up 0.5 there, I would say. So 1.5 about there. So it's 1 there, 0.5 there. But check this out. This one has quite a steep incline from 20 to 30 years. So imagine that's 1.5. Well, it's then shot straight up to 3. Okay, so how do I get from 1.5 to 3? Okay, well, I have to add another 1.5. So this one's worth 1.5 here. And then this one, 3 to 4, that's only worth 1, isn't it? So the quickest growth was between age 20 and age 30. Because that has the steepest incline, okay, because the value from there to there is 1.5, and for that one it was 1, for that one it was 1, and for this one it was about 1 as well. Okay, oh no, this one here was actually 0.5, wasn't it? So that one was 1, that was 0.5, but this was 1.5, and then that one was just 1. So 1.5 is the biggest out of these, isn't it? Okay, but I tend to look for the steepest incline. Okay, so that's the question for number 2. So let's go to number 3. All right, it says use the data to complete the line graph. So this is where you have to draw and create your own line graph. So we have the information here. So we have minutes and we have temperature. So minutes, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, which is down here. So time in minutes, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And here we have the temperature, 40 degrees, 70 degrees, 70 degrees, 90 degrees, and 110 degrees. Okay, so this is how you complete a line graph. So you need to make sure you use the information and you need to be as accurate as you can, because information in statistics have to be really, really accurate. Okay, so obviously everything would start here, 0. Okay, nothing. Okay, but then the first one, okay, is time in minutes. Well, it's 2. Okay, and it's telling me that the temperature was 40 degrees. So I look at 2, then I need to go up to about 40 degrees. So my first dot would be here. I draw a little dot there, okay? Because it's in line with the 2, and then it's 40 on the temperature. So 2 minutes, 40, 2 minutes, 40. So I draw a little dot there, okay? Not drawing any lines just yet, okay? Because it says time in minutes, 4. So look at 4 and it says 70, okay? So I go over to 4, then I look up the line until I reach 70. So 70 is here, so I go across and make sure it's in line with that 4. So I draw a little dot there. Okay? Then look to 6 minutes. and it's 70 again, so I can make sure that's in line with the 4 minutes there. So 6 minutes, go up, and I draw a little dot there. Okay, then 8 minutes, I go up to 90, draw a little dot there, and then 10 minutes, it's 110, so that's right at the top there. So in line with 10, all the way up to 110. So I'm going to use my pen tool. Okay, let me get my pen at the ready. So let's have a look. So 2, about 40. I'm going to just do a little dot right about there. Okay, then for 4, I'm going to look at 70. I'm going to go just make sure it's nice and accurate. About there. Okay, so it's in line with the 4 and that's got 70 there. 6, I will go up. And remember, that's in line with the 4 minutes. So I can do 70 on there as well. And then 8 is 90. So make sure that's in line with that 8 there. Draw a little dot there. And then 10, 110, right in the top corner there. Okay? And then how do I make a line graph? Well, it's just basically a dot to dot. So all you have to do is then join these dots together. Don't actually do that dot and then go from there and then you're creating almost like a spider. You literally just do it like a dot to dot. Now you can use a ruler to make this a bit more accurate, but I'm using a mouse and a keyboard here, so it's a little bit more skew-iffy. So obviously your lines will be a lot straighter. Okay, and believe it or not, there you go, temperature of an oven. You can join it to the 0 here because obviously the temperature of an oven, okay, it wouldn't quite start around 0. It'd normally be around room temperature, but normally you could just start at the bottom there and join, okay? But that's the information we had, so it doesn't matter if you do that extra line there, okay? So when you do your purple mash work, that is how you will have to draw your line graph. But remember, make sure you use a ruler because obviously I'm trying to use my mouse pad and it's not as easy, and you want it to be as straight and as accurate as possible. Okay, so that's all you have to do for question 3. So there you go. There's the answers. So it should look a bit like that. So this one started as 0, but as you can see, it's a lot better than mine. That is the end of the PowerPoint. So it's the same as usual. Your maths work will be on Purple Mash. And make sure, especially that pen tool, so when you're doing your line graph, you can use the pen to draw it, okay? So you can use the pen, you can use the text box if you can type any answers in. And remember, if you don't have enough room, you can use that space below. And if you want to use the zoom in and out tool so you can see it a bit more clearer, don't forget, it's just at the top as that magnifying glass. So have a go. I hope you smash it, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care.